Let me ask you a question. Would you drive down the highway in your car at 60, 70 miles an hour blindfolded? Well, I could almost guarantee you that a lot of men and women out there, and maybe including yourself, are driving with your finances blindfolded. Let me explain. There's a lot of folks out there that I've interfaced with and I've worked with and talked to that don't know their numbers. They don't know what their cash position in their bank account is. And you may or may not be one of those folks that may not have logged into your bank account recently to take a look at it. And I get it. You know, there's a lot of folks out there that are confused or they're overwhelmed when they look at their bank statements or the profit and loss. You know, they may be frustrated when they look at it because they feel like they're not making enough. There's folks out there that just don't feel good about themselves looking at their finances. And it sounds strange, but there's a lot of folks out there like that. I was one of those folks as well. You know, there's a lot of folks out there that says, you know, Eric, I would love to get a better gauge of my finances and my money, but I just don't have the time. You've probably heard that before. Or, you know, I don't want to look at it because it gives me anxiety, right? I don't know who to talk to about my finances or my bank statements and everything. But I can almost guarantee you, once you get a good handle of what your cash position is, which you have accessible in the bank, you're going to feel more confident, you're going to be more profitable, and you're also going to be more knowledgeable about your business. Let me share a story with you. I had a client that came in about 2 years ago to my office and said, hey, Eric, I would love for you to help me grow and scale my business. I said, dude, that's amazing. I would love to be able to help you. You look like a great fit. I would love to see your tax returns and your profit and loss. So he brought it all to me and it was still sealed in an envelope, which was an indication to me that he does not know his numbers and he probably doesn't know what his cash position is. So as I looked at the envelope, I looked at him and says, do you know what your cash position is this month, John? And he looked at me and says, not really. And I asked him, you know, John, do you know what your profit is for the month? He says, I really don't know. So I sat there and I said, do you mind if I open up this packet? And he chuckled and said, yeah, I know. I didn't even look at it. So as I tore it open, I could see in his eyes the anxiety building up. And as I slid out his tax return and his profit and loss from the prior year, I could see he was visibly getting uncomfortable. And I started flipping through the return and started flipping through the profit and loss and realized that John has anxiety with money. And that's, strangely enough, it's relatively common. I think at the end of the day, a lot of us were conditioned to feel and believe that money and talking about money is a taboo topic. It's something that we don't talk to with each other in public or even in private. And because of that, it's caused a lot of money challenges for a lot of folks, right? So as I went through it and I said, hey, John, what you're gonna want to do starting today, as I go through a deep dive audit into your finances, is I want you to log into your bank account, take a look at it daily without emotion, and just tell me how you feel about it. And just sit in it and just tell me what you think about that position. Get used to it. So some of the takeaways that I got from working with John was, number one, there are a lot of folks out there that have anxiety about their money. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to touch it. They're amazing at selling. They're amazing at making money, but they just don't want to deal with the hassle or the frustration of looking at their money. And the reality is a lot of folks do that because of these money mindset things that people have put into our heads. Again, money's taboo, you know, one of the greatest sins is the love of money and stuff like that, right? So the second takeaway I got is there's a lot of folks out there that don't log into their bank accounts on a regular basis to see what their cash positions are. And the third takeaway is when you don't know these numbers, you really don't know what your financial health is. So I have a call to action for you. I have something for you to do as homework tonight. All I want you to do is log into your bank account, take a look at it, and go to our Facebook group and just comment what you think. You don't have to say anything about the balance or anything about how much you have in there or how much you've spent. Just tell us how you feel about looking at your bank balance when you log into it. And I recommend that you take a look at it on a regular basis. Now tomorrow, I'm going to share with you the next video on what to do next. So don't forget to do the homework, pop into the Facebook group, and share with us how you feel about just looking at your bank account balance.